Greetings and welcome. Welcome to Papa's house. Today is an exciting day in the history of Papa John's. Come on in, we'll talk about it.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome to Papa Jakey's episode, I don't know. I just hit record. It's Sunday evening. This is a last-minute podcast. So yeah, I just thought I would talk about what's up, as I do every episode. This one's just going to be audio because I don't have my camera with me. You can hear my stepbrother playing some ultra-violent game. But that's fine. It might even just be Fortnite. But I don't know, who cares? So yeah, this weekend has been busy. It's been fun. Been hanging out with my pals. My buddy old pals. And I've just been chilling, relaxing today. Saw my grandma. That was nice. I ate at the Yard House. And I haven't been to the Yard House in a while. But they have a giant, 10 by 9 menu. 10 feet by 9 feet menu. Almost a square, but not quite, but it's huge. And I had no trouble reading it because it was so big, no trouble reading it. But I did have a tough time deciding on what I wanted. So and this story isn't going anywhere, by the way, I'm just talking. And so I got a lamb burger, like one of those, right? And it just tasted like a regular burger regarding, the meat. It didn't taste like I was eating lamb. But I hope that offended any vegans. Any and all vegans. So yeah, I think I ate a lamb. I don't know, though. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. As long as it tastes good. It had some caramelized onions, feta cheese, and instead of lettuce, it was some kind of grass. Because, lambs eat grass, they eat onions and feta cheese. So, that was a good little meal. There were nice French fries with it. But I do have to say, most of them were small, a little small, too small to be a French fry. So really, it was the small little McDonald's fries, the ones that come in a little paper bag thing, right? You get with the Happy Meal, the small ones. There was about that many good fries, which is fine because they tasted great. They tasted great. With ranch, they tasted even better. So yeah, that was my Yard House experience. Very great. Before I even finished my first soda, I was almost done with it. But I got another one. The lady brought it, and I was set for the rest of the meal. I didn't need another drink. So I thought that was very nice. I appreciated that. So that was today. I got some of my homework done. And I started storyboarding, just for funsies, my winter drumline show as if it was a movie. Which I think it would be really good. I had a winter drumline competition yesterday, on Saturday. Very exciting. Our show is called Viral, formerly known as Dissemination. And yeah, we had a great time. I wasn't that nervous. Because usually before I perform, physically, I'm going to go out in front of an audience, I get kind of stiff, right? And when I start moving, I'm a little bit stiff. But I was nice and calm and relaxed. The show is dark. The characters are supposed to be aggressive. Or not. Well, I guess you could say we're characters. But yeah, it was a great show. We ended up winning first place in our division, which was great. And in case you don't know how a winter drumline show works, let me break it down for you. It's very simple. It's just a drumline, like in a marching band. So you have your basses, your quads, your snares, and we have toms instead of a cymbal line, or as I like to call it a plate line because they're like plates, they look like plates. They move them around like plates. The only way I can describe a cymbal line, by the way, or a plate line, is like they move them around like those dudes from Polar Express. Polar Express, and they're moving their trays and stuff around. So that's why I call it, that's when I think of a cymbal line, I think of a plate line, and then I think of Polar Express. So yeah, the Polar Express plate line. We don't have one of those, though. Like I said, we have toms. Usually the newbies go on toms. But then there's also a visual ensemble. I am on the visual ensemble, so we're basically just characters. We move around, dance around. I guess you could say we're in the background because the drums are featured, but we're still a huge part of the show. And it all takes place in a gym. So we go inside a gym. We have what's called a floor, but the best way to describe it is like a large mat. And usually it goes in coordination with the theme of your show, along with the props. So yeah, we have this cool little themed show. It was great, and it's about, I guess, like, you could say a virus, It's very hard to describe. You really have to see it in person. So if you want to see that, go ahead and hit me up. Send me a message on any of the listed platforms that I have linked in the description. Just say, hey, how can I see the Winter Drumline Show? And I'll let you know. Usually some of them are a little bit expensive. They're not expensive, but there's some money. You're going to pay at least $10 maybe $5. But it's worth it because you can see any other show. It's just $10 at least to get in. And then usually there's at least, the very least, 10 other shows that you can watch. So it's, $1 or less per show, which is great. You're getting, is a buck for your bang, or whatever the term is. So yeah, that was great. It was a fun competition. We got first place in our division, world class. Or no, not world class. We're not world class. Open class. World class is the big boys. Oh my gosh, they're insane. Yeah, we watched some of the world class groups. Chino High School, Diamond Bar High School, Ayala. And they are out of this world insane. Because they're really artsy, and they're really deep, and they're really dark. It's like some next level stuff, man. Next level. Because they get really creepy, too, with their dark shows. Oh my god, it gets scary. In all of them, it involved, like, death. Like, things that can kill you and will kill you. And it's, like, actually scary. And then the music is actually really good. Really impactful. All around. All the world-class groups. World-class groups are just... They're just beyond belief. Ayala High School had this show called... I think it was, like, the Shut-In Generation or something like that. But it was kind of about the overuse of screens and only staying indoors. It was really morbid because it went on for 5 or 6 minutes and that everyone's acting super creepy. The only way I can describe it is like a dance from the movie Suspiria. If you've ever seen that main dance that they do called Suspiria, I'm pretty sure, or Suspirium, is, oh my gosh, it's just terrifying. It's creepy. It's interpretive, artsy. Everything that you'd want out of a visual arts performance is there. Music, creativity, and it's different. You can't get a drumline show, in Vegas or in Branson, Missouri. Only where maybe you can, it depends, but like if you want the good ones, come here to California and we'll show you how to party. Because, California knows how to party. But yeah, it felt good being in open class and winning first place. But we're going to have to keep our game going. There's no stopping. So yesterday I was pretty much doing Winter Drumline all day, practicing, and then our performance. And then today's Sunday, didn't have anything, but tomorrow I have an all-day rehearsal, which is cool. because we're probably going to finish out our show. Our show wasn't completely done, but most of the shows at the beginning of the season aren't done, which is fine. It's all about technique and how you deliver, but it can impact your score just by the judges' biasy if you don't have a complete show. Like Chino Hills, their show wasn't complete, and even though they won first place, it wasn't as impactful. Not nearly as impactful as it could have been. But yeah, it was cool. Lots of fun that day, and I'm excited to learn the rest of our show tomorrow. So yeah, that's been my weekend, my life. Just non-stop rehearsals, practices, and I love it, man. I do not regret doing this, and I will try and do it for as long as I can. That's how much I enjoy this. I'm also in jazz band, and jazz band is very fun because you get to play jazz and you get to be cool. I play bass, and we have a competition in a couple weeks, or a festival rather. And I love jazz. I love playing jazz. I don't really listen to it. I mean, sometimes I do. I know what I like. I know some of the artists and stuff. Like Herbie Hancock, Maynard Ferguson, Dizzy Gillespie, the big cheap guy, right? Sell peanuts. That guy. And who else do I know? I don't know. It's irrelevant. But yeah, that's cool. Do y'all ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon, by the way? That is a very fun game, Roller Coaster Tycoon. But it's taxing, man. You start playing it, you don't have to worry about cleaning up trash in the theme park or anything that you're making. And then you get to a certain level, and you gotta install janitors and all this stuff. And then you gotta maintain your park so you're making money. And it's actually quite difficult, you know. It's probably harder than what Walt Disney had to do, man, to be honest. Seriously, a lot harder. Walt Disney ain't got crap on me, bro. I play Roller Coaster Tycoon. What's Walt Disney doing nowadays, huh? He's not making theme parks. He's not playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's right. That is right. Also, what's up with the Oscars, too? Man. They were gonna... First, the thing with Kevin Hart, where he got asked by the Oscars to apologize once more for jokes he made a long time ago. Or he would have to step down. So he wasn't fired, you know, from hosting the Oscars because of inappropriate jokes he made. He was asked to apologize for the jokes, and he could, you know, still do the Oscars. But the thing is, he already apologized, and he made a very good point on the Ellen DeGeneres show that he shouldn't have to apologize, and it would be better for everyone if he just didn't do the Oscars. It would be better for his dignity. Then the show wouldn't be about Kevin Hart, and no one would be thinking about the jokes he made and already apologized for. So, yeah, and, you know, the Ellen DeGeneres platform for him speaking out on Ellen's show is like, that was, you know, that's all he needed in order to talk about it. And he made great points on the show. And Ellen, by the way, Kevin Hart made homophobic jokes, per se. And him speaking to Ellen about it in a public platform is, like, very brave, very bold, because Ellen is gay, she's lesbian, and she hosted the Oscars. So, like, you know, what other opinion do you need than from her, right? So I thought that was really cool that she invited Kevin Hart on her show to talk about it so he could, you know, say his point. That was really, really, really rad. Good job, Ellen. Good job, Kevin Hart. And then the Oscars, they weren't even going to air, like, 5 of the awards, 2 of them being editing and cinematography. And think about this. if you don't have cinematography, you don't have a movie. Because cinematography is visuals. So why aren't you going to air that? I don't know. Editing, if you don't edit a movie, you, like, literally, then what? Then what? You don't have a movie. So yeah, they decided they didn't want to air those, along with, I think it was like hairstyling and something else, which is crazy. I think it was makeup and hairstyling. Okay, everyone's just going to go around in the movies with pimples on their face? No. They're making dudes and dudettes pretty. And that's been around, that was more prominent in the movies that founded modern cinema than it is now. So I believe it's just as important or even more important to be recognized. So yeah, and then they decided to back off that, and they were like, okay, we're going to air everything now. So the Oscars are just going to be a mess. The movies nominated are not even that good, honestly. Like, I think there's a few good ones in there, right? But none of them really stand out. They're just your ordinary good movies. So yeah, we ended up with things like Black Panther and Avengers getting nominated for awards, which is purely based off of the factor of popularity, which I think is ridiculous. That's not what movies are about. Unless you're Disney, of course. So, Jesus. The Oscars, my God. Also, can someone ask me to Sadie's? Because Sadie's is, in a couple months? So I want you, if you're a girl, ask me to Sadie's. Unless Sadie's costs more than like $45 for a ticket. Actually, no, that's pricey. Like $25. I'm not paying more than $25 for Sadie's. And you know who you are. If, So don't ask me out if you know who you are. Because you know who you are. So just don't ask me. And yeah, let's make it a surprise. Also, I'm in theater, and we do this thing called Compliment Thursdays. And I'd like to say one of my biggest podcast supporters, Haley Feather something. Sorry for the disrespect. I do not mean it in a purely offensive, disrespectful form. I'm just goofing. But I'm sorry, Haley. I don't know your last name, but I know there's a feather in it. There's a feather, Haley Feather something. So thank you, Haley, for being one of my biggest podcast supporters. She's watched, I think, almost one episode. And even that's great. That's amazing. I appreciate that. One whole episode. And hopefully she watches this one. She's given me a lot of advice, like, keep them short, keep them sweet. And I've held on to that. And so, yeah, we do these things called Compliment Thursdays in theater. And she's in my theater class. And she left me a very kind compliment. Let's see if I... Yeah, it was in my wallet, but I don't know where my wallet is. Hold, give me 1 second. I'm going to find it. It's here somewhere, I promise you. It's here somewhere. Bad news, I think I lost another wallet. I don't know where my wallet is. That's great. That's fantastic. So, yeah, thank you. I almost called you Heather. Haley, thank you, Haley, for leaving me a very kind message. I appreciate that. Now, one final thing I wanted to talk about. This will be the last segment. I was listening to the song Hip to Be Square by Fall Out Boy. No, I'm joking. By Huey Lewis and the News. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if I dissected the lyrics? Because they're very interesting. They're very, like this guy is so full of himself. And he's writing the song. And it's just, oh my gosh. It's like he's like flexing on everyone, but trying to make it nonchalant. Like, oh, I'm cool, so you should be like me. Don't be square, don't be a nerd. Be like me, Huey Lewis. Be like my news, So here we go. Here's the first stanza. It goes, I used to be a renegade. I used to fool around. So this means like he used to be dumb, essentially. He used to be dumb. He wasn't, put together. But he used to, Not anymore. But I couldn't take the punishment and had to settle down. So he's saying, I was in this place that wasn't very good, but, I just didn't like it, so I stopped. It's not that easy, You have to be so full of yourself to realize that that's even going on before you can fix it. You have to have like an intervention for that to happen, which I don't believe Huey Lewis had, because he's fricking Huey Lewis. He's famous. No one cares if you're famous and doing dumb stuff, because every famous person does that. So basically already he's kind of full of himself here. Like, I was bad, but I wanted to be good, so I'm gonna be good. Alright, who cares? Next line. Now I'm playing it real straight, and yes, I cut my hair. You might think I'm crazy, but I don't even care, 'cause I can tell what's going on. It's hip to be square. I don't even know how to begin on this. So, he's saying, like before, I used to be dumb, but I cleaned myself up. And you might think I'm crazy, and yeah, I think you're crazy, because you're a little bit full of yourself here. But he doesn't care. And he doesn't care so much that he's going to write a song about it. That's most likely not true. So yeah, he doesn't care. He's just going to write a song, just a little song. Because he's Huey Lewis, he's like an indie bedroom rock artist. No one knows who he is. Only the people from his high school listen to his music. It's hip to be square. So, I think I get what he's saying here. What he means by square is like cool. It's hip to be cool, If you're square, I think I'm gonna think in 80s terms, like when this came out, like, you walk around in a suit. You've got nice hair. That means you are square, like that rhymed. So he's saying, like, why don't you guys be like me? Honestly, I don't know where this is freaking going. He said, I like my bands in business suits. I watch them on TV. I'm working out most every day and watching what I eat. That is a silent flex. But it's actually not silent, because he's writing a song about it. They tell me that it's good for me, but I don't even care. I know that it's crazy. I know that it's nowhere, but there is no denying that. You guessed it. It's hip to be square. He's flexing and acting like he's a nerd. This is like, you interpret this. I'm having a hard time, but I'm really trying. You guys get what I'm getting at, and that's what I want. That's what's most important. And then here's one of the final verses. It's not hard to figure out. You see it every day, and those that were the farthest out have gone the other way. You see them on the freeway. It don't look like a lot of fun, but you don't try to fight it in an idea whose time has come. That makes no sense at all. That has nothing to do with the rest of the song. So, yeah, basically, summary, Huey Lewis is full of himself. He was. He was trying to flex. This is one of the original Flexer songs. Like a Jake Paul music video, or a song. He's doing a silent flex. He's like, this is just how I live. Why should anyone care? Well, if no one should care, why are you writing a song about it? So yeah, that's all I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it's been fun. If there's anything you want me to work on to get better at, maybe I'm not good at transitioning, maybe the visuals or the audio are bad and there's something that you think I could do better, hit me with solutions, not complaints or questions. Or no, give me questions too, but So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I'm sure it'll be another last minute podcast because I'm going to be busy, but I'll try and figure it out. Maybe we'll get a good episode in here somewhere. It's going to come, but I'm going to try and keep fighting, keep going, because hopefully this goes somewhere. So yeah, shout out to Huey Lewis for being a 1980s flexor and Haley Feather. So yeah, have a great day. Blessed be the sun.
Today is an exciting day in the history of Papa John's. Come on in, we'll talk about it.